Welcome to the latest Vanguard Patron update video. Glad you could all come back in again. This week I was going to talk a little bit about the process and how I create some of the imagery in the Vanguard comic. In this particular issue 16, there's a couple of crowd scenes which will be essentially of the audience members of the British Bulldog show, watching, cheering, clapping, what have you. My usual process for creating artwork is hand draw stuff with like a red pencil, ink it in. I then scan that into Photoshop, and using the various tools I have in Photoshop, you can strip out the red, leaving only the black. Through that then you colour it up by using, so we have one layer with the pencils, second layer underneath which is your flat colours, and in between it I have various levels of shading, like light levels, a gradual tint, and the shadows itself. When you're creating a crowd, I may draw about say 8 and 10 people, and then what I do is I double up those layers, move them onto another lot of layers, go into the flats, and then change the colours of like the clothes or the skin. And since I've already got those other layers shading, essentially I've doubled up my crowd size. And you can do that for a couple of times, and you can add little details on the t-shirt, which you might see throughout the issue. Some people have got like the Bulldogs logo on their t-shirt, or they're holding up placards saying various things. Also, like if you have like rows of the audience members, you have one row in front, second row, third row. Third row might add a bit of Gaussian blur and then stagger that in, so you get a kind of depth of field look. You can also do it a couple of times with the runners in the issue, near the beginning when you see John in the staging areas. Done exactly the same thing. There's 3 types of runners. You've got the orange suits, the blue suits, and the greens. There's only 3 green suits. That'll be explained later on in the page coming up. But essentially the same with them. Colour them up, shade them, highlight them, and then just go in and I can change the blue to orange and vice versa. And voila, you've got a whole group of people. It makes it nice and easy. One of the things about doing a webcomic is getting those pages out on time and turning them around quickly. Of all the kind of disciplines I've worked in, webcomics seem to be about, for me at least, speed, getting your stuff done, getting it out there. I mean, doing 1 page a week is great, but for me, the more the merrier. But you've got to try to hit that sweet spot between the quality and the quantity of the pages you're putting out. I think 2 a week's a good mark to go for. There's sometimes stuff goes from a page, so, oh, I'm not sure about that. But speed, get them out, get them done. Also, I'm in the process of updating the Vanguard Rewards. I've been sending out the postcards to a number of people that requested them, but a lot of people don't seem to be that interested in actually having them. If you're still interested in doing it, I will keep doing it. I've not offered them up for January. But if you do want a postcard done for January and sent out to you, if you're on that tier, let me know, I can send it on. If you'd rather have a digital sketch, or me sketch something and scan it and slap some colours on it, I'm more than happy to do that. Just let me know, fire off a private message through here or on Twitter, which I'm most active on. If you look at Dan at Vanguard Comic on Twitter, I post there pretty much every day, and you can easily contact me through there. So if you've got those request patrons, let me know on there. So in this week's page updates, we take a look at the British Bulldog show in itself, with the audience and the stage all going off. One of the things I was trying to go for is like there's a show in the UK called The X Factor. I imagine you have it in the States and other places like American Idol or something like that, but like big stages, huge audience, kind of like flashbangs and stuff going off, and really hyping up the crowds. Yeah, trying to kind of capture that atmosphere. I've done it so on pages set within the studio, you can have a black frame with red stroke on the outside of panel windows, and when you're on the outside, you're going to try and lose the panels completely, or have them white on black. I'm not sure too many comics kind of do that chop and change panel stuff around, but I feel like changing the colours of the panel windows or the frames, it really kind of helps bring a bit of an atmosphere to the pages. I haven't had any bad feedback so far, and I think it quite works. Even simple as setting black frames at night and then white ones during the day adds a tone. It's certainly what I did on the Viper pages. White pages in the day, black at night, and I think it really works. I'd love to hear your feedback if you think that's a good idea or not. So we've got a new patron this week, Michael Danbo. Welcome to the Vanguard Patron, Michael. You may know Michael from other projects. He does Space Barista, which you can read on candrycomics.com. The blurb is that Space Barista is a daily slice of life webcomic about a guy that sells coffee in space. And the web address will pop up here, and I'll have an image up there. So that's about it then. Another Vanguard Patron update video. All done and dusted in the can. Now I've just got to go through and edit and not make too much of a hash of it. And we'll see how that gets on. But in the meantime, thank you to everyone who's contributed to the Patreon. It really helps me sort out get things running and keep things ticking over. I've got a fair bit of freelance work in, and I want to keep banging out these pages and get this done and tell this fantastic story I've got lined up. So can't wait to show you guys the pages. If you're watching this and you're not a patron, consider subscribing. It's only for $1 a month, and it goes from $5 to $10, and there's all the tiers on the side of the page there. You can check them out, see if that's something you do. Help me make the comic. Until then, take care, and I'll see you next time.